Hi, how's it in the name of Christ? What's up? It's your girl Cranky. I hope you're good, I hope you're peachy, I hope you're stellar, and I hope you're in a neat little bunch. If you're not, welcome to the party. That's just the story of my life too. Kindly look out for my caveats. Kindly look out for my captions. They're not always accurate. They sometimes use a small G for God. It's coldish. I need my hands underneath here. They use a small G for God. They're not very reverential. They're misspelled sometimes, all that jazz. One day, God willing, in the future, I'll adjust it if there is a future. And then secondly, look out for my app makeup. I'm very potentially wearing application makeup. If I am, you'll know. If I'm not, you'll also know. It bounces off my face. So I'm not shapeshifting, just in case you were wondering. Okay, and then I have a segment. Okay, let's just get this out the way. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't take a jab at me. Essentially, this whole segment is to display that when you prick me, I bleed. When you afflict me, I get hurt. I say ouch. I was trying to bring out a blush. I don't know if it worked. Yeah, but like really, the sooner I do it, the better, because it's not the best thing to do this when I'm feeling very much like trash. Okay, yeah, it's an empathy segment trying to inspire empathy in some people, but we don't know if we're succeeding. Anywho, so let's just slide right by that. Today's the 10th of May 2024. It's actually the 9th, because I'm coming in from the other day, but it's slightly earlier in the morning. So praise God for that. Okay. Didn't have such hectic edits. Anyway, guys, today was a terrible day, just like yesterday and the day before. I'm presently in a season of attack, and you know what, it is what it is. They're coming at me, like with a boot print on my face and everything. Today was hard to get through, but I pushed. I even slept. I napped during the day because I struggled to sleep. When I fall asleep, I'm not gonna say at night, because I don't sleep at night. I sleep in the latter part of the wee hours of the morning. But I struggled to actually catch some sleep, so I realized that if I didn't sleep during the day, catch maybe an hour or two, I'm not going to be able to exercise. So for the sake of exercise, I napped, and thankfully I wasn't bombarded by nightmares during that nap time, but the whole day was just terrible. Just in terms of mental torment, what was going on in my mind to comprehend and gauge what under heaven is going on in this like weird South Africa. Okay, yeah, listen up. I had a series of dreams last night. And this is gonna keep happening because of the time that I come, and also because of the fact that by now I've already worked out and I've been doing edits, so I'm in like chill mode, and then I have to come and talk, and so there's like yawning that happens. That's just gonna keep happening. Anyway, yeah, so I had a series of dreams last night, and every last one of them showed some kind of geographical location in this country. What's going on? No, like my SIM card. I need to get a SIM swap. Anyway, some geographical location in this country, and all of a sudden it just went dark. Like a light switching off, like and then it was pitch black. I saw that happening like by Clearwater Mall, driving down the road, and then next thing, it just went black as night. Like super dark. And I had a few dreams where these blackenings were happening, these darkenings were happening. At some point I was even lying in bed, just basically in thought mode, and then I actively felt like a switch off, like a shutting of lights. South Africa, you could not have possibly anticipated that you can continue to cast so many spells on Christians, mess with Christians' lives like this in the country, and God not switch off the lights little by little, incrementally, in sections, spots of the land. This country is about to endure a severity of judgment, and I don't know what under heaven it's gonna look like. Yesterday I was speaking about how it is that we're probably at the rapture now, at the tribulation, but I also spoke about how it is that I don't like to talk about the end of the end of the end of the end, because hope deferred makes the heart sick, and sometimes what prophecies you get and what you speculate or suspect sorry, I had to say this would keep happening. Yeah, might take time, so it's just healthier to basically expect a future, envisage a future. It's better to think about happier outcomes, basically breakthrough and deliverance, getting out of this Holocaust, like the Jews, instead of thinking that the world is ending, because it just helps you better focus on maintaining a healthy mind in this world. It makes it such that you think more aligned with the Earth's affairs, so you don't just be this very bizarre eschatological person. Yeah, so I am trying to keep my face and my eyes on a future despite it looking like I don't have one, because it's just safer to do that. But I saw judgment coming to South Africa, literally lights getting switched off. All I could imagine was that was light. We are the, according to the Bible, we are the light and we are the salt of the earth. So if lights were being switched off at different geographical locations, it speaks of an extraction of light, a taking out of Christians. Like all of a sudden it just went black in my dream. That for me is the closest I've ever gotten to, I can't really say that I've never gotten a rapture dream before, but I've never gotten a proper rapture dream in my life ever before. Just speculative dreams hinting towards the rapture, but proper lights just went off at different geographical locations, just bah. And one of the lights that went off was one where I was just lying here in bed and I was thinking about random stuff, and then there was like a light switch that went off, like almost in my mind. Or like, how can I describe it? Like, imagine closing your eyes with the lights on, and then somebody switches the lights off. You can tell that someone has switched the lights off, right? Because it just suddenly goes dark even though you're already in a dark plane. Yeah, type thing. The lights switched off like that in my own little mindset, you guys. That's like 1 second. I'm doing uploads over there at the same time. Yeah, the lights switched off all at the same time. Yeah, they switched off like in that mode. And I'm a Christian, y'all. Y'all are playing dangerous. You're playing very dangerous games. I'm a Christian, and the lights went off in my own mind. It's like I disappeared. Guys, people were just like, y'all don't know. Y'all just don't understand what's going on, man. Like, y'all don't know. Like, Clearwater Mall, it just went black. And I'm thinking maybe that was like a rapture. I don't know, but it could also be God taking Christians out of the country. I don't know. But there is judgment coming, and it involves the switching off of lights. It's already bad. The circumstance, the status quo, the ecosystemic disturbance. But like, it's about to get real harsher. Anyway, y'all. So though I just had a series of such dreams, like it was probably like a whole bunch of them, just very short dreams, one after the other, with lights just switching off at different geographical locations in South Africa. Y'all, like, as in, I wish the rapture would happen, y'all. Like, I do. Yes, you deserve it. You deserve a rapture, guys. Yo, Jesus Christ, help me out. Like, I'm tired today. I was so, you are exasperating. Today I was so drained, I was so exasperated, I was embittered, I was, because of all the demonic attack, the darkness, the sexual abuse, which is what I'm actually going to speak about right now. The sexual abuse, the insistent men, guys, it's just you've just made life so nightmarish. Casting spells again on my profession, my career, like the kinds of spells that destroy a person's whole career. You're doing that with my YouTube channel, like, what? You deserve the rapture. You guys deserve the rapture. You do. You deserve the rapture. I don't know, look, whatever. But if it's not the rapture, it's some kind of an extraction. Anyway, look, what? I don't know, alright? I don't know what's happening. All I know is that I can't hope for the rapture only. Maybe there is a future coming, but there is definitely judgment coming to South Africa. That much is a certainty. You can't just keep going back to the drawing board, casting the same spells that you cast last year. You just can't. When I was working out, I was yesterday and today's workouts were hard. I struggled to be as energetic as I usually am because I was under attack. My body was heavy in the middle of it all, and I did not have as much stamina, but I pushed. Did not, I mean, if I don't think anybody watches my long exercise videos, but if anybody was observant of the energy levels at all, they would notice that there's a difference yesterday, probably, and today too. In today's video. Okay, so today's video would be the one where I was wearing tights. I barely ever wear tights. Usually I'm wearing long pants. Yeah, but today I wore tights underneath my knees, black tights. And yesterday I wore those Puma pants that are black and white. Yeah, the day of the Puma pants with the boofy wig. And today with the other wig, the blonde wig, the short blonde wig with the tights. those 2 days, if you make an observation, since I post them so much later than when I do the work, you will notice that I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. If at all you consistently watch me in my workout videos, I tend to be very energetic, lots of smiles, but I was struggling today, but I pushed, and this was because of the demonic attack that's all up in my grow present. And the whole time, especially in today's video, you will notice that I roll my eyes a lot while I'm exercising. It's not because I'm rolling my eyes at the exercise, I'm rolling my eyes at the bombardment of demonic thoughts, the bombardment of demonic attack in my mind. And it was all licentious suggestion. Oh God, have mercy. Licentious, like just very disgusting, perverted sentiment by insistent men. Yeah, guys, you know, the sexual perversion, yes, like it, you're like, yeah, but oof, I don't know, like, I've never met this level of coercion in men physically in my life, where they are this desperate for sex. Like, it's just, or to take something that is not theirs despite being told no. The thing about witchcraft is that it creates fury in people for what they want. It makes them feverish and irrational in a way that in waking spaces, because people are looking, they tend to be regulated by society's reaction. They tend to be regulated by the anticipation of how society would likely react to their behavior, so they're not as coercive. In waking life, they're not as coercive, so I've never dealt with this level of coercion from men before. It's all in the spirit, and no matter how much I say, ew, get out, you disgust me, it grosses, they keep going back to the drawing board, trying over and over again, because apparently, allegedly, there are different ways to angle a witchcraft spell that might just get you what you want eventually. Like, whatever, gross, it's disgusting, guys. And the coercion for me is just oozing so much rape that women, you know, you done thrown a lady under the bus, I'm just saying. And some of y'all who watch my content will be here. Once the rapture has happened, you will be inevitably left behind, despite being a professing Christian thinking you're saved, okay? And I am praying for you now for that time. The restrainer is going to be removed. And that which restrains men, when you say no, they just listen. When you're like, I don't like you, dude, and they leave you alone. Those of you that have not experienced rape because you tended to live among men that were scared what society would think if they did what they wanted their most, basically, you are going to be shocked out of your minds. And I have done a video like this before describing how it is that men are going to be so incontinent in the tribulation that rape is going to be a sport done in public, and it's going to be done by people that would never have gone out like that if at all society was still thriving properly. It's like looting, basically. If at all society was thriving properly and the restrainer was here, they would have had some kind of self-control. I spoke in that older school video, it's a couple of months back that I spoke about how it is that I saw in like some dreams, colleagues, like men that holler at you in the office that you're not interested in and that leave you alone, and they tend to be cool. It's just a jabu from work that was trying to wink at you, but you were not into that, and the next day he's cool. He still greets, he's collegial, he's not weird with you or whatever. Yeah, that men like those, some of them, once the rapture happens, are going to literally hunt you, search you out, knowing that they've always wanted you and you rejected them, and they would imagine that this is their opportunity to take what they want anyway, and they would then rape women that they never would have done that to if the rapture did not happen, if the restrainer did not get removed, if the chaos, if global calamity did not happen. Hey guys, y'all, God, I'm being flooded by stuff, y'all, and I don't want to hope for the rapture, because me, I don't want to be discouraged. I don't want it. It's a blessed hope, but it's very hard to wait for it, because there's no confirmation that it's happening tomorrow, you know what I mean? Anyway, so you guys know that Lesotho hat, you know? Is it Lesotho? Is it Soto? Why am I thinking Sotho? I think it's Zulu. Yeah, but young man, you know that traditional hat that has that whole shape? It's Zulu, right? Why was I thinking Lesotho? It's definitely not Lesotho, it's Zulu. Yeah, Zulu. Yeah. Zulu. Okay, now it's coming to me. It's Zulu. Why Zulu? Because the bane of South Africa's existence commenced in KwaZulu-Natal. I've done videos explaining this before. Some coven of men that have basically just thrown the country to the dogs. Anyway, so I saw a woman wearing a Zulu outfit, a traditional Zulu outfit with that hat, okay? That had those hats of theirs. That's what's good. Yeah. Making like a hatty thing. And that hat of hers turned into I promise you, I am not lying, into a flying saucer. It turned into a flying saucer. And it turned into such a big flying saucer that it was hovering over South Africa. Y'all know that Lesotho used to be part of South Africa, right? This like, maybe that's why I was gauging Lesotho. That was a Zulu outfit, but it was over Lesotho. Lesotho is like eaten, it's like gobbled up by South Africa. Like, it became an independent state on its own. So it's its own country with its own flag and its own laws and everything. But it used to be part of South Africa. And y'all know that Lesotho is inside South Africa, right? Yeah, it's inside South Africa. You get my point. Am I speaking sense? Look, yeah, I am. Which one is just at the periphery of South Africa? Is it Botswana? It was Lesotho. Look, this thing was oozing Lesotho. It gave Lesotho in my dream. No, it wasn't a dream. It was a vision, a waking. Like, I was wide awake, and there was a Zulu outfit wearing woman, basically, sort of kind of like in Lesotho on the map of South Africa, but inside Lesotho. So it will, yeah. And then her little hat, her Zulu traditional hat, turned into a flying saucer over Lesotho, right? So this woman's hat turned into a flying saucer. Then I don't know what happened with her. She just disappeared. Turned into an alien spaceship. That's what I'm getting at. And then it covered all of South Africa. However, having commenced in Lesotho. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, assist us, help us overcome exhaustion from the futility of those who do futile things and their futility, thinking that this futility is maintainable. 1 second. Oh, I was uploading one last video. I was uploading one last little video. Anyway, whatever. So let me, this vision that I had earlier today, while I was just going through it and everything was really painful. This chickie in a Zulu outfit in Lesotho. So essentially, the root cause of the nation's problems caused a flying saucer over Lesotho. That's what I'm getting at. Like, this woman's Zulu hat turned into a flying saucer. The flying saucer then spread. It just got big and everything, and then covered all of South Africa. Like in the movie, thoroughly, it was exactly like in the movie Independence Day. Like in the movie Independence Day, you know how there's like this giant flying saucer over the city, and everybody's just looking at it, and it was just hovering over there? Yeah, it looked exactly like that. It went from being a hat on a woman's head to a flying saucer. And that woman was wearing a Zulu outfit in particular. However, she was centralized in Lesotho. Me, I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't describe what I saw over there. It was a vision. I just saw it. All I'm doing is communicating what I saw. And then when I saw it, I was like, why did her head turn into a flying saucer? It was not her head. It was just her hat. Her hat. It became a flying saucer because it already almost looked like one anyway. Guys, first I get the dream with the lights going off at different geographical locations in the country. Metaphorically, that could mean proper saints vu rapture, just like that. It just went dark, and then it went dark in my own eyes as I lay here. I'm a saint. Other day, hey y'all, you know what? I don't want to be one of those rapture nuts. I don't. It's broken my heart before. All this waiting, I'm sorry. Like, I'd much rather just wait for a husband and some children than this thing. But anyway, I just hurt myself with this ring. Have you guys seen the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Or read the book? You know how there's a golden ticket that Charlie gets? And all the kids get it in order to go to Mr. Willy Wonka's factory. But then only one child ultimately inherits like the whole factory type establishment thing. Yeah, the other day I was walking, it wasn't a dream, it was a vision, an open vision. I just keep having them. I was coming back from the Kishion, and I think I had a cup of tea, coffee in my hands, about to eat some breakfast and stuff. Well, lunch really, given when I eat it. Yeah, and as I was walking into the space, that I had a vision of that cup of like coffee in my hands being a golden ticket. You guys. You're in Matata. Y'all are in Matata. Like, you're in Matata. Like, you're in Matata. Yeah. You want to say Hakuna Matata? No, there's Matata. There's problems. There's Matata. There's problems, y'all. Y'all have got problems. Y'all need to repent. My coffee looked like a golden ticket for like a split second in a vision. A golden ticket. It's like I was just walking around with a golden ticket. I was just walking around with a golden ticket like I'm about to inherit Mr. Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. I'm sorry, guys, but there's only one meaning to that. There's no other meaning to that. I'm sorry. Like, I'm kaleidoscopic in the way that I think. Very full of color, animation, movie-like brain. So, of course, God uses movies to show me stuff. And y'all know how Charlie is the one child in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory who gets a golden ticket by it's like almost like happenstance. It's like this one chocolate that gets purchased, and really and truly nothing was expected to come of it, and then boom, there's like a whole golden ticket in there. The kid was poor. There was a child whose dad basically purchased like the whole neighborhood's chocolates to basically search out a golden ticket out of these chocolates. And I think it was Augustus Gloop, I stand corrected. So basically plans were made to make sure that these kids find themselves in a position to get a golden ticket. And Charlie was the only one that was poor, and he wanted a golden ticket, but it didn't happen. They didn't even have money to buy him chocolate, but one day Grandma George or Grandpa Georgina made a decision to just buy Charlie a chocolate just for fun, and ooh, there was a golden ticket in there. So I mean, that's like a providentially placed golden ticket in the meek that inherit the earth and delight themselves in abundant peace. And the one child who had the lowliest chance of winning this race that Mr. Willy Wonka was starting became the one to win in the end. Charlie became the one to inherit the inheritance, to get the chocolate factory. He got heaven. Charlie got heaven, even though he was the one that was least likely to get it. Y'all, God takes the weak things of the world to shame the strong and the foolish to shame the wise. I was walking around with a golden ticket, and yeah, I do the interpretation. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Do the interpretation yourselves, like proper. I just get these visions. I just get them, all right? And sometimes there is dreams. I just get them. And there's a lot. The thing is, I'm spiritually very pumped up. There's a lot of, I see and hear a lot every day, all day. I am tuned in the worst way into the spirit realm, and some of the stuff I see is evil, it's demonic, and so I'm very burdened by my gift. When I was working out, I just kept getting these like push images of licentious entitlement to me and the ramping up of such activity as this, despite how much I say on the rooftops, I don't want this, leave me alone, I have a spiritual gift. It does not seem to matter. They don't care that I know. That level of incontinence that dwells in the spirit, that does not exist in waking life, is going to pierce into waking life once the restrainer is removed. People are going to be their basest selves that I see how evil they are. I see how evil they are today, because this thing that they call witchcraft, this thing that they call anonymous, that is witchcraft, guarantees them what they imagine is, like I said, anonymity, that nobody will know, and that largely people will just accuse me of being a crazy lady accusing everybody of witchcraft, right? I can land a sister in a psychiatric hospital for accusing all of this Africa for being witches. So they run with that. They lean on the fact that it's hard to find physical proof of witchcraft unless you catch the dead beat in the act. It's rough. And so they just keep on casting spells anyway, despite people knowing that, I know what you're doing, please stop. I know what you're doing, please stop. You're gross, you're disgusting, like stop. They don't stop because they're leaning on anonymity. Anonymity. Well, when the rapture happens, the restrainer, or otherwise known as self-restraint, self-control, the thing that stays you from doing strange stuff, the light that is in this world, the whole earth is full of his glory, will be removed, at least from, God is omnipresent, so he can't really be removed entirely, but the work that he's doing here on earth right now, before the rapture's happened, that he will stop, essentially restraining evil on the earth with his goodness. He will just let it run rampant, meaning that your basest instincts, you're going to run with them. It's written in God's word that the human heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can tell what you're going to do? What's going to spur from there? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Your righteous works are like filthy rags, which is for evil, okay? Really evil. But there is a restrainer. that makes sure that we care for what society thinks on the left and on the right. We are regulated sometimes by other people's opinions of us. But once the rapture happens, people are not going to care what people think. There's going to be calamity. Right now, you are just looking down on looters who steal because... I mean, why did looting happen the other time in KZN? What sparked it? What kind of disaster happened? But a lot of times the thing that starts looting is disaster. Like if there's a natural disaster, if there's a shooting, if there's a crime committed, if there's a stampede, something that causes order to be shifted out of whack even for 5 seconds, people then just start stealing. Yeah. And then there are others who look at this activity and they're like, they wag their heads looking at the TV on some people mara. Telling yourself that if you were to find yourself in that position, you would run to your car and drive home. You would not steal the radio. You would not steal the TV. You would not steal the microwave from game. Yeah. Those are y'all who are sanctimonious, self-righteous, seated, elevated in the pomp of your own goodness. Y'all about to loot like those looters in KZN that made some Indians move to Australia. God help me. I'm very tired. I'm exhausted. Guess what I just saw now as I'm yawning? Guess what I just saw now as I'm yawning? The Statue of Liberty. In some water. Like just floating. Like as in it's been uprooted. And it's like in some water. Just floating. With that little like thing, Torchima Bobby of it. Like just carrying it. Like just floating. I mean, what in the world would put the Statue of Liberty in the ocean? Kind of global disaster. You'll are in trouble. Ooh. I just had another vision now. Yes, like Joel, I'm sorry. Like, I just feel like God is confirming even as I speak to you. I saw a lighthouse. You know the one that you find at the beach? Dead. Like as in not emitting light. Like black, like pitch dark. Just chilling there, abandoned, with no light coming out of it. I just saw that now. Like these things are just coming to me as a lighthouse, pitch black. Oh, guys, I apologize. I'm sorry that you thought that this here was Nightmare on Elm Street and you're Freddy Krueger and you're gonna just keep hopping around in the streets on some I'm here, I see you, and I'm gonna eat you. Whoa, like you thought you could just terrify the earth with your sorcery. Lighthouse being off at the beach. It's Christians gone. It's there being no light in the earth anymore. It's there being nothing to navigate you anymore. And it's also God. It's written in God's word that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and they're safe. It's a high tower, lighthouse. Yeah. So I mean, like when that's out the way, what's gonna happen? You who are sanctimonious, holier than thou, self-righteous, elevating your morality above that of these random Lay Janes and Joes that looted in KZN, you're gonna loot. But instead of the microwave and the television, you're gonna loot human bodies. You're gonna loot women. There are men that are going to rape girls that they've always liked, that said no to them, that they were cordial to after saying no. So essentially, he was mature about it. He was mature. He just took it. I like Karabo. She doesn't like me back, but it's cool. Karabo, how you doing today, girl? Now I'm cool. Alright, cool. Yeah. Men like those are gonna just have their way with women. I had a dream like that months ago. I did a video explaining. I've got a lot of videos in my YouTube channel that describe things that are gonna happen both in the tribulation and in the beginning of the millennial reign of the Lord Jesus Christ. And I have basically archived them. They're available. They're public, right? I've just left them, but I've stopped talking about them because I've just started like to focus on living. Yeah, but I've been flooded by apocalyptic dreams that there was a time when I was sharing them night after night after day after day, and I just stopped because hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a longing fulfilled is a tree of life. And for me, the thing that was a tree of life was to hope for a husband and some kids. The hope that is deferred, that is the rapture. It was just too far. God keeps saying, scary release, and I've said this I don't know how many times before in my ministry, scary release, a release that's going to be scary. And I was like, I don't know how you mean that, God. What do you mean? Is it like I'm gonna get my breakthrough and it's gonna be scary, or is it something so scary as a rapture? It's freaking some people out in these streets like, oh, where do they go? Oh. Hey, I did music, lots of music. Okay, so there is this song by Halsey. So I've been writing, I rewrote secular songs and I made them Christian. And one of the songs that I rewrote was Halsey's Without You. Yeah. Found you when your heart was broke. Yeah. And yeah, until it overflowed. Yeah. And that song has not stopped ringing in my mind. Not the Halsey version, my version. It has not stopped ringing in my mind for months, because the biggest torment on me is affliction by men. I spoke about it yesterday, how it is that if I just got my life back together, financially at least, I will stop getting harassed by these scavengers who do what they do precisely because of the lowly position that I'm in. I don't even need to get a husband or be fully restored. Just be financially okay, because it is my weakness in this material regard that is making them scavengers. They feel as if though they can just keep on waving that card to get access to me, and nothing I say makes them stop. So I've been mourning, saying, God, just give me money, give me an ability to make my own money, to be independent, so deadbeat no-brainers that think they're in a position to serve my interests can realize that I've got my own now. Yeah, it is the bane of my existence. Something that I'm gonna touch on towards the end of this conversation. One-sided. That song is about that kind of ridiculous persistence by disgusting men to take women that don't belong to them. The one that I rewrote, I can't remember the lyrics. I know I'm not about to go to the car and get the lyric sheet. I am not about to do that like proper. I'm just going to be shuffling. Plus I've locked the gate. There's like a series of like robberies that have happened in this neighborhood, so I don't really want to be outside, but I will try and remember as best as possible what I wrote in that song. My version of it was about men or a man that impoverishes women that he might orchestrate, or that they might orchestrate their rescue. Essentially a Hegelian dialectic type of buffoon. A man that insists that a woman be super duper califragilisticexpialidocious poor, so he can be the only one buying her bread. When I was exercising, that's one of the flash visions I got of some deadbeat that has held a woman hostage in black magic. Do you understand? Can't get out. The woman knows her husband is involved in black magic. But like, you're married to him now. You don't have anywhere to go. You don't have your own money. You don't have a job. So all you're going to do is just shut up and basically accept a satanic husband that can do as he wills in this environment because he's the one buying your bread. You're dealing with Ike Turner like no man's business. A woman that is just stranded under a psychopathic, narcissistic man that is going to be literally casting spells on her every second week. And even though she knows, he don't care. I had a vision of basically being trapped in a marriage like that. And it wasn't of me, but of this one woman that wrote me in on my email saying, Karabo, please pray for me. My husband is involved in black magic and it is depressing the living daylights out of me. Even my children are worried and I can't even get out. I'm stranded because it's not even an option for me to leave because I have nowhere to go. I don't have money. I don't have a job. I am dependent on him. All I could think was that is the worst thing that could ever happen to me. That is the thing that I fear the most. And I had a vision of that woman, however, her image being impressed on my face. Kankane, like somebody just grabbing a cake and smearing your face with it. Yeah, you're gonna be that woman married to some satanic beast that's busy with you. But you're not gonna be able to go anywhere because you have nothing to your name. That's why I kept rolling my eyes while I was working out. Guys, yo. The Halsey song, the remake, my version, I'll try as best as possible to remember, okay? It went a little something along the lines of found Christ when my heart was broke, then built my soul until it found Christ when my heart was broke. Yeah, found Christ when my heart was broke. Found Christ when my heart was broke. Then built your soul until it overflowed. You took it too far to hold me close. I was afraid to leave you on your own. Speaking about basically a woman that is interested in a man's salvation, but then he doesn't come around. He just never gets saved. Found Christ when your heart was broke. Yeah, guys, I just had another vision now, like proper. The Sam Smith song, You and Me, we had a vow. Let me just get to this point now, okay? The first one first, and then I'll explain the Sam Smith and what that means. Alright, So the lyrics went, found Christ when my heart was broke, then built your heart or something until it overflowed. I took it so far to bring you close to God. I was afraid to leave you on your own without God. I said that Christ will catch you if you fall, and if they laugh, forget them all. But then you put me on your knees, made me grovel at your feet just so you could orchestrate my release. Yeah. But then you put me on my knees, made me grovel at your feet just so you could orchestrate my release. Now you're crying 'cause my saints are up here. And you know why, yeah. I like Prophet Ivory. I wrote that. I forgot my own lyrics. I forgot. It's been a minute since I read that, but it basically speaks about how it is that this person that was working tooth and nail, trying to burn a fire he can't burn. There's like nowhere that he's getting with this. However, he's trying to reignite the car. Well, in the middle of that activity, like literally have the rapture happen, and then he will regret working tooth and nail to force marry, like it's freaking 1902, a woman that does not want him. She said it over and over and over and over and over and over again. Leave me alone. Men like these. But they just keep going back to the drawing board with their witchcraft. And the woman is like, ew, no, ew, no. And they keep trying. And that song has been going on off on a loop, and I have refused to hearken to it because I don't want to believe in nothing but the rapture, because it's just going to break my heart. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. What if it happens in 10 years? I don't want to be waiting around for something that's going to happen in 10 years. I need to live. So I've been ignoring it. God is basically telling me through that song that he keeps, I wrote so much music. Yet that's the one that I hear almost every single day, God reverberating it to me. He's telling me, while they're busy trying to reignite an engine that is not ever going to start, my bride will get taken out of here. Trying. Yeah. Now you're getting insane. Now you're crying 'cause my saints are up here. You played so hard thinking that they would not hold me. Yeah, trying to get my, do you want it? Yeah, you played so hard thinking that they would not hold me. Now you're insane 'cause my saints are up here, and you know why, yeah. You don't have to say just what you did, 'cause I already know. I'm God, I know the last and the first. So tell me, will you leave? Yo, I forgot, like, I'm not about to go to my car to fish that lyric sheet, but it basically just speaks about how it is that a person was out just trying to start a car. And you know what, it's online. The thing is, the music that I did, all of the lyrics, the music I did, it's all online, and more than once. Like, I've done a medley about twice of all the music that I wrote. Like twice. So the videos are on YouTube. It's not like this information here, I can't corroborate it with anything. It's just that it's going to take quite a lot of digging, a lot of searching to find those videos that were done in parts, like about 10 parts, where I was singing all the music that I rewrote. And one of the songs was Halsey's Without Me or Without You, and that song is about this thing that I hate with a passion that's pursuing me right now. Kankani, like by force, you are gonna marry me. Yeah, I just had another vision. Goodness gracious. So let me just then enter into the vision that I had with Sam Smith's song. That's another thing that gets plastered on me. Not so much the Sam Smith song, but you know, the woman in the music video. You say I'm crazy 'cause you don't think I know what you've done. When you call me crazy, I know I'm not the only one. You and me, we made a vow, for better or for worse. Yeah, I can't believe, yeah. Anyway, that whole song is about a man cheating on his wife. No, it's about a woman cheating on a man, because Sam Smith is a man. It was before he started singing gay songs and whatnot. Yeah, type establishment thing. But the music video is about the woman who is being cheated on by her husband. If you watch that music video, right? Yeah, the wife, y'all, is just like she's hot. She's beautiful. She is strikingly gorgeous. The wife in that music video, the woman essentially that he made an honest woman out of, is just beautiful. And she also has got a peaceability about her that even though she suspects him for cheating, she doesn't raise it. She is crying in her wedding gown all day, and then when he comes home, she is smiling, opening the door for him on some welcome home. She essentially is hiding in her heart that she knows that this man is cheating on her. And if you look at the mistress it's just some whatever chick. It's some whatever chick. Like, it's a woman that does not even compare to the wife that he's left at. If you've seen that music video, I know I'm not the only one. Yeah, Sam Smith, you know what I'm talking about. The wife is everything a man could ever want in a woman. And the woman he is cheating on her with pales. I keep getting flash visions of that music video, of that woman. Basically, God showing me that these animals that want you would make out of you like that woman in Sam Smith's music video. A perfect wife that is a perfect 10, that has everything down, and godliness ruminating through her veins, that is going to be honoring of her husband, yet he is going to cheat on you with substandard women in this world that like do not compare even in the slightest to you. Loose cannon women that know that he's married and don't care, that underestimate the value of a man's wife because they're just having fun for the moment. Like the kinds of adulteresses that know that a man is married, they're not being deceived, and they help him keep it a secret. They protect him, they cover him because he's paying for their rental or whatever. Like Jezebels from here to Timbuktu. The Lord was showing me that these animals that want you would make out of you that kind of a bride. A bereft woman that is married to a man that's cheating on her with the scum of women of the earth. Like the scummiest of women on the planet. He'd be cheating with these floozies in the office. Anyway, he sees them in meetings, business trips. He would like proper the kind, you know, these men that have wives at home, and yet every time they go on a business trip, they have a mistress, and their business partner say nothing, their mom. Everybody knows that this man is a flagrant cheat, except for the wife. Like the whole community knows except her. The Lord has been showing me that these are the kinds of men that are insisting upon you. They are prolific, promiscuous today. They're sleeping around today. Some of them had sex just last week, and yet they want to come and grab a woman that's been chased for 13 years. And just make her a wife, claiming that they're Christian, and then make out of you a woman that is being cheated on with all of the harlots of Johannesburg. That kind of deception slipping into your direct messages on Facebook, deceiving you into believing that he's of God. However, you will know that even in that music video, yeah, Sam Smith, the woman is a housewife, and she's living in cush, like opulence. This man is well off, and he has given her a well-off lifestyle. And I guess that makes it feasible then for him, gives him a ticket to perform some of the grandest abominations on the planet against this woman after waiting for 13 years and counting on God. And then I end up with a man like that. Yo, guys, I would die inside or I'd commit murder. I don't know, one of the two. Like, I did not just wait on God to end up being cheated on with some office harlot, some chick that's out here sleeping with all the GMs, the SMs, all the executives, anything to get ahead. A woman likely younger than me by like 10, 15 years, seeing as I'm like 39 going on 40. But hey, she's ambitious. She's got to be the new senior manager next month, and she's prepared to have sexual relations with your husband to get there. Your husband. I spoke about how some of these women find themselves, who are married to such men as these, in the position of Janet Jackson and Why'd I Get Married? You're HIV positive in a marriage. What? And then you find out that your husband is gay. Guys, yes, then I'm sorry. I asked for protection from all the harlotry that can ever dwell in men in this world. I came to Christ on time, okay? And I asked God to protect me from the myriad, the permutation of outcomes that could be my life after marrying a bad man. And I guess that's why I'm still single after 13 years. And then me, I'm gonna get taken up by some wealthy dude that's gonna make out of me a bereaved wife that's acting like she doesn't know her man is cheating. Cause where you gonna go, Karabo? Are you gonna go back to sleeping in that deadbeat shack at the back of your mom's house? Cause look at the house you have now. I would rather stay in the shack. Like, yo, guys, yo, ooh. Like, I can just, like, I feel like I would kill if that was my life. Like, proper. I did not just go through so much trauma to end up with a man that's going to have no regard for my heart. I apologize, but you see, they want me. They're insisting. The amount of witchcraft. You guys, the amount of sorcery. The other vision that I just had now was of False and Simi's Soldier. You know that Soldier song? Soldier go, soldier come, soldier do what you want. I've even done a video expanding on that phenomenon using that song because God rang it in my mind to help me understand the level of coercion, the force that these men insist on taking you. It's about the song Simi and False, if you've seen it on YouTube, even the music video. It's about this dude that's pursuing a woman to oblivion, essentially. She keeps on saying no. She's like, soldier, go, soldier, come, soldier, do what you want, but don't fall in love with me. Soldier, go, soldier, come, soldier, do what you want, but don't you fall in love, soldier, don't you fall in love with me. She's rejecting him. She's telling him I don't want him. She's like, I see this man, oh, last December, he won't come over. Say, what is the matter? Yeah, she's basically saying that this man is pursuing her by force. She tells her mama tells her papa, oh, see me, see wala. She's saying that, see me keeps saying no, like I don't want him. But this guy's like, no, I don't care. And at some point, False's lyrics, right? He's like, you will stand at attention. He's basically like the soldier man that is saying that you will stand and pay attention when I speak, and I want you. And this here, no one throw man from this romance, only coup d'etat. Only no one throw man again. No one throw man from this romance. You will basically be mine, only good coup d'etat. There's no escape. He basically saying nobody is going to throw me as a man out of this romance, only coup d'etat. I'm just going to take you by force. He's following Simi around at her job where she works as a teacher, and he keeps telling her nobody's gonna throw me away from this romance. This here is a coup. It's funny in the music video when you watch it, but when you think about the implications of it spiritually, when a man is insisting upon you with korobela, just like determined, and he's telling you nobody's gonna throw me as a man out of this romance, only coup d'etat. This is a man that's by any means necessary going to take you as a wife, meaning that any guy that pursues you, he will bewitch them out the way. You will literally live in a horror nightmare. Do you understand? If you don't have Christ, you have no protection against men like these, and they're all over this country, all over this world. A man that will thoroughly, I just had yet another vision, Bambi, the music video to Dena, Bambi. A man that will thoroughly throw away everything that comes into your life to make sure that he's the only one that's pursuing you. It'll be dry, do you understand? The eerie, creepy stuff that happens to women's lives that are in this kind of line of fire. You go from being pursued by a couple of dudes here and there and on campus, couple of dudes here and there in the office, to it's dead quiet. It'll mess with your self-esteem, do you understand? Like, as in, no dude is asking you out anymore. Nobody is looking at you anymore. You go to the mall and no man's eyes are on you anymore. Like, you will thoroughly feel like you're ugly. It creates that kind of weird horror movie-ish environment around you. No man will want you, and it'll be day and night. It'll literally be day and night, where it is that yesterday 4 dudes were asking you out on campus, and today they don't even want to look you in the eye. That level of spiritual manipulation, that's a coup. No one throw man from this romance, only coup d'etat. And then should one decide to slide into your direct messages anyway, all of a sudden they're going to go awry on you. Somewhere along the way they're going to be rude, or they are going to be unresponsive, or they are going to start out liking you and then just break off. They will ghost you. Yo, dudes, like, I have seen flames, yes, like that. You will be ghosted. Something will ward them off. Dare you then rock up and say, I've got a boyfriend, I've got a fiance, Hashem. The person might even end up dying. That's what these people do. He tells you, and the spirit realm, that no one throws me as a man from this romance, only coup d'etat. When you don't have Jesus, what the heck, guys? Like, proper. When you don't have Christ, you are subjugated to the tyranny of saying no to some animal that unless he passes away, you won't come free. Unless he dies, you will not come free from his clutch. And if you attract 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, 7, just like it. I feel sorry. I feel so bad for pretty girls. I do. Why do you think there's such an epidemic in the black community of black women not getting married? 35 single, 40 single, 45 single. What? No true for what? No one throw man from this romance, only coup d'etat. Soldier go, soldier come. He will have you by fire, by force. I am being held onto by some animal from America, my ex-boyfriend, some dudes I rejected in the past. Guys, it's ridiculous. And for me, it's like, but I'm yours, God. And the Lord is like, this here is a strong delusion, but I'm using you to help people understand just how bad the epidemic of sorcery is. It's not coincidence or happenstance that marriage rates among black women ever since the days of apartheid have significantly declined. Like, black women were getting married In apartheid, the hard times, men were struggling to make ends meet, and yet they made women honest. And yet in the 21st century, where everybody has a little bit more money, ain't nobody getting married? It's cause witchcraft has skyrocketed. Ex-boyfriend feels entitled to you and will hold on to you for dear life until you turn 40, having never been married. Like Karabo, holding on to you for dear, dear, dear life. Jadena in Bambi is this dude that is out your gate crashing a wedding, trying to stop it, block it, of his ex-girlfriend. Bambi, Bambi, ba, my dear, my dear, my dear. What are you gonna do when you've got false in your life, the proverbial version? What are you gonna do when you've got Jadena in your life, the proverbial version? What are you gonna do when you've got some dude that's gonna insist on marrying you as a really great woman, as a godly wife that is a good thing, that excels above them all, and yet cheats on you with office sleazes, floozies? What are you gonna do as a woman that marries either a virgin or having been celibate for years and still gets HIV in a marriage? What are you going to do about that? There is no one that's going to protect you from that, guys, except Jesus. Yeah, guys, this witchcraft stuff is I know, it's bad, yo. It's bad. And Abali, see me, see wala. She doesn't want him, but they don't care. They don't care. No matter how much I highlight that, I find it disgusting. I've had a dude slap me with Korobela after I had a whole lengthy conversation with him about my hatred of it. And he was a kid, so I thought that maybe he looked up to me as a role model. But he was experimental, trying to see if he can't bank an older girl. Ooh, guys, like an old bro, like a bro. Ooh, wait, king, like proper. Ooh, the stuff these guys do, like, oh, yo, And the sad thing is, most women are just not in Christ. But you see, it doesn't go one way. That's what I'm getting at, which is the point that I'm trying to make here. Y'all, if the rapture doesn't happen, then I guess a future is what we look forward to. Then you will see what happens when a woman holds fast to Jesus. She gets protected from that level of rubbish. So far, I have been salvaged from marrying a coercive, narcissistic, satanic freak into gaslighting me when I bust him doing sorcery, when I dream about him, given that my spiritual gifting is so active. Yo, this guy would gaslight me. He would make me sound crazy. He would call doctors and nurses on me. He would get me put on meds, y'all. Like, with the amount of dreams I get, yo, I'd be sleeping next to the dude I keep on seeing as a demon in my dreams. And then he would send me to a psychiatric hospital for finding out. Yes, like it. But yes, like there was a woman like that I met once in the past who, hey guys, kept on getting checked into a psychiatric hospital every time after her husband cheated on her because she lost her mind. And he was the one to drop her off when she was in that hysteria. Ooh. Yes, like it. But like I couldn't get it. I couldn't understand. She was in a frenzy that put her in hospital, and he was the one that dropped her off at the hospital for doctors to deal with her mental illness induced by him. What is the point of getting married if that's going to be you? Situation so bad that you gotta get checked into hospital because a man is messing with your mind that badly. Ooh, I apologize, but that's the kind of stuff that's pursuing me. They feel entitled. They're pleasure seeking. That's what it's written about them in 2 Timothy 3. Pleasure seeking, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof. They're not interested in Christ. They're interested in sex, in a fetish, sleeping with a woman that's been celibate for 13 years. That is what they're interested in. And so they keep on going back to the drawing board, gambling with sorcery, trying to see if maybe this next spell won't work. Like, I apologize, I'm sorry. Like, y'all need the rapture. So my thing is, I'm so upset with this whole Korobela thing that this here is the point that I've been trying to get to the whole time. Men into Korobela. Well, y'all are the ones that are hitting me because I'm a woman. I've gotten some lesbian spells, but I don't care to even highlight them because I'm not tempted in that regard. It's useless. It's just useless. It's aimless. Anybody, whatever, man. I don't even talk about it. Yambora. Yabu lesbian. Who do you think I am? Like, ew. No, right? So the lesbian ones, like I said, whatever. It's just so, it's a non-entity type of discussion. It doesn't even matter. Like, I can, however, be tempted by men because I am straight. And my thing is, how about we put some shoes on your feet that belong to me and to the women that you do this to? Just imagine this. We live in South Africa, witchcraft central. Everybody flying around in these streets on a broom, like headless chickens cackling around, bewitching everybody, spiking everyone's drinks. People are crazy, flying over the cuckoo's nest. People in this crazy have lost their minds. Do you understand? Yeah. Nutbags sitting next to you as colleagues, bewitching every new staff member because they want to be number one. That's South Africa. That's South Africa. Decimating the economy, but they don't care because they think that they're gonna get to be the only ones shielded from their own destructive force because they think they're God. That's the country. So, I mean, men, you've got to know that you're not the only ones waving magic wands, right? Given that the country looks like that. I personally am a victim of a myriad of witches, male and female alike. The females came at me with fangs, claws, like grooving into my skin because of jealousy, competing with career, competing with you guys, boys, competing with who's gonna marry the best one and who's gonna have the biggest wedding, if at all, competing with just about whatever women can compete for. So they just like cast spells on one another, just chopping each other's heads off like machete, just slicing any chick in the room so you can be the best one. Stanky females, that's what's good. Absolutely stanky. Yeah. And men, of course, who tended to afflict me largely with men. It was always about romance. It was about, I liked you and you didn't like me back, or I like you but I'm with someone else, so I'm just going to be nice and greedy, selfish, narcissistic. There's a dude who actually did that and ensure that you don't ever get married, so I don't ever have to be uncomfortable for passing you up. There was proper a dude that I was flirting with at the tail end of my relationship with my ex-boyfriend. I wanted to leave my ex for him, and I was prepared, frankly, like for both of us to just get out of the respective relationships that we were both in to be with each other. He made a decision that that's not what's going to be happening in these streets. I never cheated on my ex with that dude. What is this? I went on one date with him, and not even during a time when my ex and I were together. And nothing ever happened between me and that dude, not even hand holding or a kiss, nothing. We just had a very cordial, typical first date where you just talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Anyway, whatever. So that's what happened, right? My ex was always on hot water throughout the relationship, so let's just put that out there. He was irresponsible, didn't make sense for me, he had to be left. So it is no wonder my eyes were like a periscope out here peeping out to see what else is on the horizon. And I met a dude from MTN that used to work for my company that I really, really liked, and I was prepared to basically just kind of, you know, kick this okie to the curb to be with him. And he appeared also just kind of toggling with the idea of leaving his woman for me, the two of us, just going to the sunset. Yeah. And then he decided that, no, I'm gonna stick with where I'm at. And I was like, okay, cool, but you're not gonna string me along. That's what's good. You're not going to keep on hollering at me, taking me out on dates. We're not doing this. I made a decision to distance myself. And after I distanced myself, this little buffoon made a decision that I don't get to have feelings for you and you marry somebody else. Dude, but then you are with your woman, and he eventually, years later, married that chick. So he wanted me to just sit, you know, like these animal men that have mistresses. I actually had a friend that was like that back in the day. They've got young mistresses, women in their 20s, that are yet to be wed off married. They're yet to have children. Perfectly viable, marriable woman. Fertile, childbearing years. And then you have a many-year relationship with a married man. I knew a woman that was 24, no children, and she had a many-year-long relationship with a married man and gave him a child. She gave him a child. There was also another woman that I met. When I met her, she was 25. We were slightly younger than her, maybe like 21. That's how old we were. And she was having an affair with an older white man. And he was paying her way and everything. And this chick was 25. So, I mean, she's young, but she's not that young. She's young, but she's not that young. At 25, girl, you better be single. That some 28-year-old guy, 30-year-old guy will rock up and be like, hey, I like you. Let's get married. Why are you wasting your years on a married man? She ended up getting married. Years later, my cousin came to me. She was like, oh, sister girl got married. I was like, oh, good for her. She was supposed to do that in the first place. So I guess she's one of those that dodged the bullet, which is also another thing that disquiets me. It's all the bad girls that get the husbands, but let them go. Okay? That level of bizarre activity going on in the mind of a woman, I don't understand it. But when a man insists on making that out of you, like the dumb women that allow themselves to be 23, 24 years old, childbearing years, no children, clean slate, could go and marry your 28-year-old boyfriend, and the two of y'all start a legacy, and then you decide to just kind of stick around in a long-term relationship, like he's a boyfriend, with some dude in his late 30s going on his 40s, and then decide to give him a child while you're still in your 20s. Yes, like it. IGO, guys. That's the stuff of desperate women. That's the kind of thing that if a 35-year-old woman did it, or a woman that is 40, I could be like, hey, maybe she was looking at her biological clock. But when you are like 23, 24, what are you doing? Yeah, well, this little buffoon, I was 26. I was 20, like just a spring chicken at 26. And he was expecting me to accept being his place freaking holder side chick. Because he liked me so much, but he was torn. He was in love with these two chicks. He didn't know which one to pick. But since this one was around for much longer, she's going to be Mady and I'm going to be the side piece. He thoroughly had that level of narcissistic intention where I was concerned. I'm smart. I've always been smart. Christianity only made me wise. And I was like, oh, there's a crazy dog in the room and it's barking. It thinks that I'm going to sit around. After getting out of a long-term relationship with a guy that I was the main chick to, I was in Mady with my boyfriend, only for me to embrace the status of, listen to this, side piece turned mistress. Ooh. So I was going to be his side piece, and then he was going to marry her, and after marrying her, I would then be a mistress. And because I said no to that, yeah, he decided that I'm not going to go anywhere in life with romance. Bewitched the living daylights out of me to never get married because he did not want to have to see me get married because he could not make a solid decision about me. He had strong feelings, but he was torn between two women and he could not make a solid decision, stuck with what it is that he had already been in. He got to make that decision, but however, expensively made a decision that I, as beautiful, as gorgeous as I was, no man is going to walk me down the aisle. He got what he wanted, didn't he? Here it is, and I'm 39, turning 40. Still single. Still single. That dude was at the very tail end of my lost days. I got saved shortly after that stupid nonsense. And when then I gave my life to Christ, that's when I prayed away all that rubbish. I was like, hey God, lama tota ya hlanya. I was like, Jesus, these men are crazy. I mean, you remember the one that just tried to make me a side piece for life? You know what my ex did? Waste my time for 5 years. You know the Korobela. You know how much I was held hostage. So like, you just know. Please bless me with a man that it loves you, is going to admonish you day and night. And the result is a woman literally single for 13 years. Is the situation really that bad? Is it that dry in South Africa that I'd be single for 13 years purely because I asked for a good man? Purely because I asked for a godly man? A saved man? I know I ain't under a curse. I'm a Christian. So if a man is not here, it says, what is the quality of men in the country? Like, I don't know. That's why I'm done with South Africa. I'm not marrying here. There's nothing left, Lana, for me. Took a minute for me to wake up and snap out of my whole patriotism for this country, but I've snapped out of it now. And I'm grateful for having done that. And now I know that my husband is chilling in Brazil or in the Philippines or in America. My husband is chilling in France, I don't know, but he's not here. If he exists, of course, because we could be going out in the rapture. My husband is not South African. It's that basic. He can't be, because he would have been here by now. It's what I'm getting at. I would have maintained in singlehood. Guys, I'm beautiful. Goodness, I'm gorgeous. I'm smart. I'm a combination of things. The only reason I'm still single in this country is because no one could stand up to what it is that I asked God for. It like proper. It's because no one made sense, and so God hid me from you all. He buried me from you all. And then when I popped up like a jack in the box on YouTube, you then insisted on slapping me with Korobela for years straight. And despite how much I see it, and despite how many times I keep saying, leave me alone, I'm not interested, you keep going back to the drawing board and trying and testing it, because it's what you are. You're witches. You're sorcerers. You're violent. And my question is, God, then why didn't you move me out of the country earlier so that I would be married at the right time? I guess for his own purposes. I come back up to the surface again and I've got more men making sure that I go nowhere. Tethering me with a noose on my neck on some awindao. Yo, really? Based on who? Satan. I'm seated in heavenly places with the man Christ Jesus. But this is what I gotta say, men like that. This is South Africa, okay? You who hold women hostage, because they were once your lover. If the tables were to turn, how would you feel? I mean, you know that beastly females exist just as all of y'all men that are doing this to me are also beastly. You know that there are female versions of y'all, right? Little spawns of Satan walking around, hopping in these streets like kangaroos, acting all like innocent, albeit being, like I said, the spawn of Satan. Yeah. You know these ugly Jezebelian females are teeming at the folds like in South Africa, sharp, long nails out there, piercing into your heart, taking you. Well, allow me to communicate that there's just this thing that happens in women in Jefela from birth. It's like a congenital defect. It's what we're born with. We come out of the mother's womb singing, see me see trouble, when are you gonna marry me, yo? See me see trouble, you best to marry me, yo. See, we've been dating for many years now, you want to leave me for lobola. See me see trouble, you gonna marry me, yo. Today. Yeah, women come out of their mama's wombs essentially demanding marriage from men. It's just that some women, you know, get proposed to marriage before men discover that this is like a fang. And like that's just like, yeah, gnarling at them. Women want to get married. No matter how much they might deny it, no matter how feministic they are, they just want to get married. And the sooner it happens, the better. So what happens then when a woman has that strong desire for marriage, but she's evil? If she's not good. I also came out of my mama's womb with some see me see trouble, when I will marry me, oh. Go ask my ex-boyfriend how many times I was like, oh, you've been dating for many years now, you want to leave me for lobola. See me see trouble, you go marry me today. I told him that too. Been doing it. Like we like to counsel each other that no, don't pressure a man, but then when it's just the two of us and some babe, I don't really mean to pressure, but you know, I'm not getting any younger. You pressurize him anyway. Even if you get advice not to. Yeah. Even if you know it's in your best interest not to. Even though you know it's not healthy to keep on raising it and putting your photo and his photo into, feeding your photo and his photo into some application to see what your babies would look like and then show him. Yeah, scaring a man like that is something that women just keep on doing. It's like we can't control it. We just like literally just break out into it like it's like hives. We break out into it like it's mumps. Can't help but do it. Today, when are we gonna marry? When a woman is that desirous of marriage, but she's evil, what do you think she can do? What do you think she can do? Do you seriously think you're the only ones holding women hostage? Men? Making sure that they don't marry anybody? Insisting that a 24-year-old be your mistress, even though she is perfectly viable to be wed off to some single dude? Do you think you're the only ones crazy like that? My goodness. You don't know just how much more evil women are than men. It's written about them in scripture that a bad wife, a bad woman, is like rottenness in the bones of a man. Rottenness. So she destroys him from the core. She is more destructive than he ever can be to her. Delilah destroyed Samson. Jezebel destroyed Ahab. The power of a wicked woman is excruciating. And so when you are as evil as you are, gangstrosities, insisting that you're going to marry Karabo Korobela, is it not because you are essentially manifesting beef, grief, irritation from having married exactly what you are? All these men that want me that are either divorced or married want to leave their wives. The other day, God told me that they are trying to compare themselves. Like the first time he told me that they're trying to compare themselves to Jacob while I'm Rachel. I already explained that away. But then recently I got a new brand spanking idea coming in the top of their minds. Xerxes. They think they're King Xerxes and I'm Esther. Putting away evil Vashti. Using the Bible to justify dumping some feverishly evil woman that you married first so that you can come and grab a perfectly pure girl that waited on Christ for 13 years and then claim that you're the king of Persia. How Xerxes. Amba wena ati haures. There you go, bouncing up and down, making like a king. Except you're a peasant. You don't know God from a bar of soap. There's nothing worthwhile about you, and you chose that Jezebel of yours, knowing she was evil. You know what happened in the story of Esther with Xerxes, right? She disrespected him, and then he was counseled by his men. This chicken. All the other chickens of the community are going to end up disrespecting their husbands because of her behavior. You're putting all of us in hot water. So he put her away and got Esther. Y'all chose her because she was a bad savage. You liked her because she was wicked. You embraced her precisely because she was not boring with all of her piety. Top of that, so you are without excuse. You can't just put her away because she's going to cause a humiliation of all the men in the town. You keep using biblical examples even though there's no parallels to your own life. Trying to take a woman that does not belong to you because you're sick and tired of your Jezebelian beastly female. These evil girls, they have worn you out, have they not? Do you not see that you are suffering consequences and that's why you want me so badly? Do you seriously think that God is going to give me to a man that insisted on marrying an evil woman, is exhausted with her, and now wants to marry me so that he can exhaust me the way that he got exhausted by her? You are birds of a feather. You are flocking together. You deserve each other. You're birds of a feather. Literally, you deserve each other. It's like Delilah out just dating Ahab when the one bashes the other in on the head and everybody's out just suffering concussions. Y'all, you deserve it. You were both in a cockpit as wicked people in a relationship. You were both gloating at the time you got married, being as evil can get. And then years progress, and she tired of you and you tired of her. She now wants a good man because you just don't make no sense. And you want a good girl because she don't make no sense. I'm sorry. Work it out. Patchwork your dastardly marriage, because at this point, your persistence on the body of Christ is going to get Christ ransacking you for insisting upon his women. You are exhausted from your evil, Jezebelian, Delilic females. And that's why you want godly girls. So now that the tables have turned and we've switched sides, you see what Karabo achieves. All these women that also come out of their mama's womb singing, see me, see trouble, when are you gonna marry me, oh? And then because they're evil, they then insist that you're gonna marry me, baby. They go by Yolandi Karabo. They go and they land up Pegamina Pela. They go and they fetch you will never ever look at another woman. A woman that's actually busy with you, with sorcery. 24 hours a day you're in a horror movie. She's the Freddy Krueger now. Now she's Candyman. Now she's the Nightmare on Elm Street. She is Jason out in these streets on Friday the 13th. She's Chucky's bride. Gili Silo, this chick. Gilulu Ubuil. She's the horror movie in your life now. And there's no running away. Because you are, in and of yourself, Chucky. So I mean, really, you know that movie Chucky and Chucky's Bride? Y'all got married. So why is Chucky trying to marry a human being now? Hey, you got your Jezebel, made your bed, now lie in it. Keep your wife, purify her. Get born again that she might get saved. If she doesn't get saved, whoops, it's your bed, you made it, lie in it. It's your bed, lie in it. When the tables are turned, it's not so great, is it? When your woman can't be trusted, when your woman loves money so much that you don't know if she's cheating on you with your boy who just like banked big on a tender. When your woman can't stop shopping even though y'all are struggling financially. When your woman can't take care of them babies and she's always out here drinking it up a storm, smoking while she's pregnant like proper. Women like these, they wear you out, but you married her knowing that she was that like hard knock savannah drinking, dancing on a nightclub like table on a stripper pole girl. You married her knowing Unjan. And given that she's, like I said, excruciatingly evil, when you were dating her for like 4 years and there seems to be no marriage in sight, she just decided to like roll up her sleeves, I guess, and was like, Sango, my boyfriend, taking a minute. See me, see trouble, when are you gonna marry me? Oh? We've been dating for many years now, so really, Karabo. And now that you got married because some female done made you, you're not trying to take some other unfortunate female in the future and marry her when she don't want you. You want to go and grab a Christian woman and make her you volume 2.0. She lured you into a strange marriage, and the two of y'all are out here being Bonnie and Clyde because you are thoroughly Chucky and Chucky's bride. And then you want to rock up as Chucky, all scary as a strange doll that out here be talking, demonic conduit, and marry a Christian? Funny. You are hilarious, and the Lord is about to severely judge you for all of that hilarity. You are funny to think, Chucky, that you can ditch your bride for a godly wife. You deserve her. Now that the tables have been turned and you now have been slapped with by some evil woman, you now want to come and marry us. As for all of y'all single men that keep on bewitching women in the school, women on campus, women in the office, you are facing a risk seeing as you keep on bewitching everybody else in these streets. There's some stupid, strange, odd girl that's on some I am ready for love. Why aren't you looking at me? I just want you for my baby, but you don't give me attention in the office. Some strange girl you don't look at in the office and now you be looking at her some kind of way. Next thing she's your wife. How would you like it if some weird little ominous creepy shadow figure female in the office made you her husband with witchcraft? You wouldn't like it, would you? Well, they live among us, these evil women, just like you live among us evil men. So if you don't repent from your insanity, young men especially that are yet to get married, in and of yourselves you will end up married to women that are Chucky's bride that you did not sign up for, and in the future afflict women like me. You will end up like all of these millennial dastardly beasts that are doing this to me. These men that are in my age group that cannot for the life of them leave me alone because they married Jezebel. You are facing a risk. Young men like the young one that bewitched me, some Gen Z that's not yet married, doesn't have any children. He's got a clean slate, that little dastardly buffoon. And yet, he out here was trying to experiment with a cat, with like his Hlongwane, some 40-year-old woman. Out here trying to experiment with her. Well, this is the risk that you're facing, little dastardly buffoon. You're facing a risk of having some chick looking at you and some, oh my baby, I'm loving you, while you're not looking at her. And then next thing you are just hollering at a sister. Next thing you are just buying a ring for a sister. Next thing she are just walking down the aisle for you. And then next thing you are just wondering, why did I marry this fool? You are literally facing exactly what these millennial buffoons did. So do a better thing. Repent and stop bewitching strangers online with Korobela. Women you meet on campus with Korobela, because you will inevitably marry some strange little female that's also a Satanist that is going to make sure that you're going to be her husband just as much as you are making sure that people are your wives when they don't want you. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm signing out in Christ's name, Cran K. I hope the rapture happens. Peace.